Welcome back to the Trade-Off Podcast, episode 13. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Alex.
And one of us has just come back from Turkey. Guess who?
It's not me.
This episode, we're going to talk about the perfect monthly profit for traders. If there is one, is there a perfect monthly profit for traders? I think there's definitely a perfect monthly profit target
Overall.
for traders.
Yeah. Cool. We're not looking at, when we say overall monthly profit, we are not thinking about every single month you must return X amount. You're talking about it on average across a year because obviously market conditions are...
Mean value.
Yeah.
So over 12 months, what have you averaged over each month? So if you made like 40% for that year, you divide it by 12 and there's your monthly average, right? It's very...
Quick maths.
It's very difficult in the markets to be able to make the exact same percentage figure every single month.
Yes.
Because the market goes through different cycles and gives you different opportunities. So some months will be slow, some months will be amazing, right? However, how can we control this and stay in control as much as we can as traders? We can do that by having a monthly profit target.
Yes.
You may be asking yourself, Ryan, Alex, what is a good monthly profit target?
Well, in order to do that, we need to look at the professionals.
The pros.
The pros.
So there's 3 top traders that you most probably would have heard of. If you're in the trading space, you would have definitely heard of them. Yeah. One of them is more of an investor than an actual trader, but still gives us a good indication. So we have, first one, Jim Simmons. Jim Simmons is a mathematician. Over the last 40 years, he's averaged anywhere between 3 and 4% per month.
We have George Soros, who was famous for shorting the pound, I think, during the crash. So he essentially had one massive year and then used that massive year to piggyback the rest of his kind of trading success. Yeah. And he averages around 30 to 40% a year as well.
Again, that 3-4% a month, right? And lastly, of course, the OG of investing, Warren Buffett, again, averages 3-4% a month. So we can see if the pros that have got all the resources they could possibly need, they've got all the funds, they've got some of the best minds in the trading space working for them as well, are making 3 to 4% a month on average, what do we think could be? It's not a trick question. Could be a good monthly figure.
Well, it depends who you follow. Certain people online will make you believe that 20 to 30% a month is a reasonable amount to be looking at. No names, toy trades.
but this is actually the problem, right? Is social media, because social media has people believing that there's people out there that are making 20, 30, 40% per month. And believe me, it's not mathematically possible to actually do that. Of course.
You have a month of 30 to 40%.
You can definitely have a month like that. You'll likely be very active, of course. You'll be risking a lot. You may have just had that one amazing trade. So imagine if, obviously, Bitcoin's nearly hit 100K, right? If you went Bitcoin long, right? You've had this one amazing trade. You could have just made 20, 30% on your trading account. I'm not talking about actually buying a Bitcoin. I'm talking about trading it on CFDs. So you could have made that, but that's an anomaly. That's not going to happen every single month. No. Sometimes you can just get a bit lucky.
And let's be honest, right? People are going to hate me for this, but ICT, Toy Trades, all these people you see online, right?
Yeah.
In the honest opinion, in my humble opinion, the people at Goldman Sachs would have kidnapped your whole family and had a gun to your head and be making you trade their funds if you could do 30 to 40% a month.
Yeah.
And that's the way you're trading, right? It's not physically possible for that to be happening every single month. It just doesn't happen. There's no way that the best minds in the world in the trading space are making, on average, 3 to 4% a month. And then there's someone
on Instagram
or on YouTube, right?
Well, if you are, prove us wrong.
Yeah, prove me wrong. And I don't want to see a shell account of a broker. I don't want to see my FX, anything like that can just be fucking forged. If you can do it, show me. And then show me the withdrawal and show me it hitting your bank, and I'll apologise live on air. Until then, you keep posting your silly fucking videos, and we'll keep talking about it.
Could the real gurus please stand up? So, monthly percentages are very important, and I think it's very important that you need to have a realistic expectation of what you're going to achieve. Now, of course, we can all achieve more than 3 or 4% a month some months. We've established that.
Yeah.
However, with trading, it's not just about making as much fucking money as possible. You may be thinking, well, why else am I trading? It's about keeping your mindset correct, getting the right balance, so you can continue to make good, consistent returns long term. What's the point of having 2-3 months of making as much as possibly can? It's been a fucking mental, stressful, wild ride, and now you're like fucking hell, that was crazy. You've messed your mindset up. You're all over the place. You end up giving it all back to the market, which is what most traders do. They give all their profits back to the market.
Yeah. The thing about that also is, what happens is you have one good month, and what tends to happen is, because you've had one good month, that becomes a new expectation, right? A bit like if you work in like a sales job, for instance, right? People that work in a sales job, they're steadily making $2,000 to $3,000 a month, say, in commissions, right? They have 1 or 2 really big months. What do? They scale up their lifestyle because they now assume that that's the new target. That's what they're going to hit. Then they go back to their average again. They're like, fuck, I've over-leveraged everything. I've got a newer car, got a bigger house. I've promised my wife a nice holiday. Yeah. And they're like, fuck, what am I going to do?
All
right?
the usuals.
They create more stress, which in exchange means that they need to spend more time at their job trying to chase the money. They don't always end up with more profit. So therefore, they just create a cycle of stress. And you don't want that. As a trader, you want to keep your emotions, you want to keep everything around you as stable as possible.
Yeah, make it easy.
If everything's fluctuating, if there's many different variables going on. I mean, for instance, if someone has a huge, if you take out the chase and the profit, if you have a huge thing happen in your life, let's say you're getting divorced, let's say someone in your family gets sick, I highly recommend just taking a break for however long it takes for you to get your headspace back, because that's what these people do. They're making sure that they're staying in a place of consistency and they're not getting overstressed.
Yeah, and off the back of that, this is why you'll notice a lot of traders aren't just trading.
Yeah.
They have other business or they have other investments happening, which is paying them a wage. Because trading income is a regular income. And those people on social media, they're not going to tell you this sort of stuff because they just want you to sign up and buy their course. But if you're looking to learn to trade, you need to know exactly what to expect. Because if you come with the correct mindset and the correct expectancy, you have more chance of being successful as a trader. Yeah. Rather than getting loads of nasty surprises on the way because somebody has told you everything that you want to hear, so you buy their fucking course.
Well, that's the quickest way that people quit, isn't it? Because you're expecting what you see online. You join, it's not quite what you expect. You're like, oh, the returns are actually much less. Now, this is where you got to put into perspective the percentage versus the capital, okay? Because if I told you, look, I can do 30% a year, I've done it every year for the last 10 years, you're like, okay.
You might say, well, I've seen someone online, they done that last week.
Yeah, and you're okay, cool, but they're trading £100 account, right? So you're looking at the difference between having a huge amount of capital. So, for instance, people might go, oh, I can do more of a percentage than Warren Buffett over 12 months. Great, but he's trading like $7 billion for his company.
Yeah, and also, why don't we know your name?
Yeah, exactly. Because people do it for 30 years, and that's why, right? So it's important. Longevity comes with consistency. Consistency comes with doing things and repeating it, the same process for a period of time. Yeah. That's how you gain consistency. So you've got to understand that just because you do a 10% month or a 20% month once in a while, you're not special. It's no different. Everyone goes through these cycles of profit going up. Yeah. Right?
The market does just like to hand out sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't take any profit for 3 months in a period of 3 months this year, manual trading. But then I've taken over 12% in the last 3 weeks. Right? It evens out. Right? It's consistent over a longer period of time. Your edge plays out. Everything levels out. But you've got to be looking at ways to make more from your percentage, not make more percentage.
Yeah, exactly that. And the easiest way to do that, and we covered this on another podcast, is a lot of traders get hooked up on, I need to make more money this month. Straight away, that's a terrible mindset to be in as a trader.
Worst mindset to have.
You don't need to make more money, right? Your percentage can stay the same. Like if you have a target per month, right? All you need to do is scale up your capital because you're doing the exact same amount as work. You're doing exactly the same amount as
Come on, Junior.
It's the anaesthetic. It's the anaesthetic.
It's got brain damage.
It's the anaesthetic from the air transplant. You can be doing exactly the same amount of work on 100k than what you are a million, and you're going to make more money, right? You don't have to do any more work. So that's why it's important to scale up your capital and not think, I need to place more trades to make more money. You got to think, how can I get more capital? Of course, this is where the prop firms comes in, and we've covered that before. So it's important that you don't get hooked up on, how am I going to make more money this month? I'm going to sit at the desk, because we'd done this back in the day, didn't we? We'd sit at our desk, we'd go, right, let's really fucking smash it today. We'd have a shit day trading. Because we're sitting there trying to catch every move. We're taking trades that didn't meet criteria. We're just making shit up on the spot.
Yeah, this looks good. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's definitely going to get from here to there. That's an easy 20 pips. Yeah. Guess what? It went the wrong way, 50 pips. And I'm there holding it going, oh my God, I was only wanting to get 20 pips out of this. Come back to break even, please. I'll take that. And that's what happens when you just sit on the charts all day. And this is all the mistakes that beginners make. And we know that because we were beginners once. So it's important that, one, stick to strategy. Two, you need to have some sort of realistic expectation of what is a good percentage return. 3 pros that we named, Jim Simons, George Soros, Warren Buffett, all averaging 3 to 4% a month.
Yeah. They're not setting the world on fire.
That's good, stable, solid returns. We're actually trying to think at the moment where we've got the automated system where it just shuts off at 3% a month. Now, can that beat someone that's trying to make 10% a month? Because that person that's trying to make 10% a month, so many times they would have made 3% and kept going, then gave all the profit back, and that month could have actually ended up in a loss. We see it time and time again. So most people can get past 3%, then they end up giving it back.
Yeah.
So why not stop at 3%? It'd be interesting to see how those results come out over a long period of time, right? Because a person that's stopping at 3% a month, they're doing less work, they're less stressed. They could sometimes even be done in the first day. I'm done.
That doesn't mean that your target on a set trade has to be 3% either.
Yep.
You can have a trade with a 10% take profit, right? But there's factors that you can introduce into your strategy to take profit out of the market, depending on where you want to get in and out. So if you've got a trade and stop loss and your target's 10 and the stop loss is trailing behind the trade, it's trickling up, and then it gets triggered and it takes you out first, say 3.5%. Okay, you didn't make your 10%, but you made 3.5%. You can stop now. Okay? The only way that you can stop, if this is your only income, is if that has covered your requirements for the month, right?
Yeah.
In order to do that, the easiest way to make sure you do that is to scale the capital, right? You can do what I do. So I won't take a trade unless it is at least a 1 to 10 risk to reward ratio, which seems massive to some people. But what they don't realise is I scale out at 5%, I scale out 50% of the volume. So I take 2.5% out of that trade straight away. Then that's almost 3% there.
Yeah.
And then I'm done, right?
If it trade's risk-free?
It's now risk-free. And if it hits take profit, it's going to hit that take profit at 10%, but it's only going to be trading at 50% volume. So it's going to make 5%. So there's 7.5% there, which technically can cover me for just over 2 months of an average of 3% a month. So I don't even need to be trading every week or every month.
Aggressively all the time.
Not at all. There's ways that you can manipulate your strategy to ensure that you're taking an average out of it. All right? You don't have to be hitting these huge numbers.
There's so many misconceptions, isn't there, with trading?
Massive misconceptions.
Where you should be sat on the charts all day. You've got to be hammering the charts. More trades means more profit. You have to just be a real cool customer. If you can understand exactly what you want to get out of trading, and you give yourself a relatively easy kind of target to hit, and you're not being greedy, you can have a really, really good career and a really, really good life in the trading space.
Yeah.
And then you can use that money, invest it in other things, and you can keep growing and growing and growing and just generate more income streams. But that all comes from using the vehicle of trading correctly and not being too greedy. It's the greed that kills people. And do you know what? Some people learn this after a few months. Some people take a few years. Some people never learn this at all. And they never make a penny from trading.
That's it.
Because they're just going around in this vicious circle constantly, just being greedy, chasing the next best thing, trying a new strategy every month. They're constantly chasing all these different things they see online, shiny object syndrome. Like, wow, what's this new thing here? What's that new thing there? And they're just bouncing around from group to group. And they never get anywhere at all because they never really gave anything a real good go.
Yeah.
There's only a certain type of caliber of person that can truly become a fantastic trader. Everyone's got it in them. Some people just can't unlock it.
You got to think about your goals and your targets and break them down into small segments. So, for instance, if you're trying to lose weight and you want to lose, say, 12 pounds, you don't start off and go, right, I'm going to lose 12 pounds this month. Right?
I'm going to starve myself.
Yeah, I'm going to starve myself. You look at it and you do it in monthly increments. You'd be happy if you lost £1 a month. Yeah. And you get your goal in 12 months. That was the goal, right? So it's the same with trading. If you want to get to, like 36% a year and you do 3%, that's great. Look at it at 3%, you have to do 36% in the first month.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where people are really, 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 like I'm seeing it so much. People are really being taken in by numbers and figures they're seeing on social media.
Yes.
Right? Because people aren't showing you percentages. They're showing a lot of the time numbers, right? Yeah. So someone will be showing 30 grand. That's a percentage of what they make. That doesn't mean that you're going to make 30 grand. You're going to make the same percentage.
And also,
so
they don't show no losses.
Yeah, people don't show losses. And you'll see that we show losses all the time. All of our systems, whether it be manual, automated, they take losses. Anyone that doesn't take losses...
It's mathematically impossible.
It's mathematically impossible, and they're full of shit.
If someone's ever shown a loss, that's a red flag straight away.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you know it's mathematically...
Impossible.
It is impossible to not take a loss as a trader.
Yeah.
And some of you might not want to be hearing this. You might be thinking, who are these guys? I don't want to take any losses. I've seen a guy on social media, he doesn't take any losses.
Yeah, go then. Go make a vlog, document your trades for the next 12 months and see how many losses you take. Follow his trades. Because there'll be fucking loads.
There will be losses, yeah.
And people don't like hearing that, like you said. But we have been there. We've been there, we've seen it, we've done it. We started in the same place, thinking, I'll just follow this person's trades. Like over 10 years ago. That's how long it's been going on, right? We've followed people's trades and we've seen, what they said here doesn't match the results we're getting here. There's got to be some disparity in the middle. And you start off with the best intentions, thinking, they're not a bad person. I must be doing something wrong. And then after a while, you realise it's just full of shit, right? And that is when you need to make the choice. I'm either going to look at doing this myself and be responsible, because all the time you're following signals, or all the time you're copying someone else's strategy and waiting for them to tell you when to get in or when to get out. Yeah. You are not taking sole responsibility of your trading. Therefore, if they don't make 3% a month, then it's their fault. It's not your fault. No, it's your fault. You pushed the button.
You pushed the button. And it's much better as well. You've taken ownership of a strategy. If someone's taught you a strategy, you take ownership of it. You may tailor it towards you a little bit more. Yeah. With our automated trading system, you can create your own strategies that suit you, because everybody looks at the market differently. Everyone has a different perception. Everyone has a different risk appetite. So if you've got a strategy which is suited to you and you own that strategy and you've mastered it, your trading experience is going to be so much better than just following someone blindly and waiting for them to tell you when to buy and sell. Yeah. So I think having ownership, a realistic expectation, being responsible, being disciplined, all these are important traits of a trader. Understanding the true expectancy of returns that you can achieve, because there's that balance, right? Do you want to try and achieve upwards of 10-15% every single month and be stressed to fuck and be spending a lot of time
all day on the charts?
Is it really worth that sort of trade-off? And is likely that you're going to do more damage than good. We've seen it time and time again. More chart time actually does more damage than good. There's some sort of stat for that. Or do you want to be a trader where you're actually not doing much work at all, but you're making a good, consistent return and you're fucking loving life?
And that might not resonate with people that are young people. You know, we're getting old now. Fucking hate to say it, we're getting old, mate.
35 years young, bro.
The people that are...
Full head of hair.
Full head of hair, mate, yeah. But, one's shiny as a baby's bum.
You not see my hairline?
But, so, some people, right, they're not going to accept that's the case. And it's going to be a lot of younger people, right? The reason being is because they've got so much time on their hands. People that are at college or university and they're doing stuff like that, they've got spare time. They don't have kids. They don't have to go do kids' activities. They haven't got to keep their wife happy. They haven't got to, do things around the house, right? Like they live at home. That's fine. But what will happen is you will build a trading career now at 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah, wish I started then.
Yeah. Right? You'll build a trading career then. And you'll build it around trading all these hours and doing all this mad stuff and trying to get all the numbers you can. Right? And then what happens is life hits you. And you get all the extra responsibilities, and the amount of time drops that you have available. And then your trading strategy no longer works because you can't spend 10 hours a day on the chart. All right? So you've got to think about what is long-term and what's future-proof, not what just works now. And finding something that's consistent over a long period of time is what you want. You don't want something that's like works now and then peters off and doesn't work, or works for a few months and then doesn't. You want something that works consistently over a longer period of time. Yeah. Longevity is what counts.
3-4% a month on $1 million is 30-40 grand a month.
Exactly.
Light work. And you can go get that from prop firms.
100%.
Pass a challenge, get funded, get paid.
Yeah, and it's not a long process. You can do it in a month, 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, like the process of getting funded obviously depends on the market cycle. We see some people getting funded in a week, see some people take 2 months. It's just...
Exactly. Depends when you start.
It depends, but... You can start a funded challenge, right? You can either be funded this time in a few months or not if you don't start. So, whether you start one now or next week or the week after, if you're going to start, you just want to fucking start.
Exactly.
And try and get funded and get paid. You got to take action. Stop procrastinating. Simple as that. If you truly want to make money and want to be a trader, want to be funded, you got to do something about it.
Get it done.
Get it done. Thanks for tuning in as always. Make sure you like, subscribe, drop us a comment, give us some ideas for next week's podcast, and we'll catch you on the next show.
See you next week.